Good morning from this old site director. I have the day off today, so I wanted to connect with you guys and wanted to put up a small little arts and crafts video, um, which it kind of all starts off with. I've kind of met maybe three people on the planet. Um, People that love form, people that love function, and people that when you ask them form or function, they say, huh? So those are the three people that I've ever met. So after this little arts and crafts project, you can immediately find out by showing this arts and crafts project to a person which group they lie in, form, function, or huh? Um, and it's kind of an artistic project, but also has a really good function. So, and it can be done fairly easily in any town in the US because all you need is a hardware store. So any of your local hardware stores, your favorite one, be it Lowe's or Home Depot or, excuse me, or Ace Hardware or Acme Tools or wherever you go to get your local hardware. Because likely they'll have a section in the store where they sell fittings for garden hoses, water hoses, and they likely will have a section where they sell pipe fittings, bushings, and also they'll probably have a place where they sell air fittings or air plugs. Or if you're a hoser, maybe you might even call them an interchange. That's getting pretty air hose nerdy though. So you need to go to three different spots possibly in that hardware store. Again, garden hose area, pipe fittings, and then air fittings. But once you do that, you'll spend probably between $30 and $20 for this project. And the main goal that you're trying to do is go from 3/4 inch water hose, female, to some type of air fitting. If you own an air compressor before you leave home, check what style of interchange you have on your air compressor, that quick coupling where you just attach air lines to use an air tool. Find out what style it is. Is it a M style or a T style? Or if I'm speaking clicks and buzzes to you, you can go online and find out all the different types of air interchanges. Like here, I just quickly went to a company where they have a nice chart where they have all the different types of interchanges. So really the two most common types are industrial interchanges and automotive interchanges. So all the different plug types, be it a really common one is an M style. You can see there at the top. So 1/4 inch industrial interchange. Or sometimes you'll run into an automotive type, like a T type. But it's good to know before you leave and before you get to the hardware store what type of plug style you'll need if you have an air compressor. If not, whatever your fancy. When you're there and you see maybe you want a copper colored one or maybe you want a shiny chromed one. Whatever you choose for what you like. So the main goal is going from that 3/4 inch water hose to the air line. So, and you can do it in as many or as few steps as possible, which is kind of fun. Can be kind of an adventure in absurdity or an adventure in efficiency. And you can do this yourself or bring your kids if you have kids, and then they can learn along the way. So what I have here in this left row, I have the 3/4 inch female national hose thread. And that's kind of the confusing thing. When you get there to the hardware store, plumbers use kind of hidden code. So this is a swivel because it turns, and you'd put it onto a garden hose or a spigot. So this is 3/4 female national hose thread. And then on the other side, it's 3/4 inch female national pipe thread. So this is the magic link between hose thread and pipe thread. And that's really the main adaptation, the main change up to go from hose thread to pipe thread. And then the next piece we have is a bushing. Technically, a bushing is a liner to a hole. So if you have the main body of some big piece of steel and you have a hole in it and you're gonna go to something else, like maybe an axle or maybe a conduit, a bushing will interlink between that main body and what else you're doing, be it an axle or a conduit, because bushings are used by plumbers, electricians, mechanics, so they're far-reaching applications. So this is a plumbing bushing, and it's going to go from 3/4 inch male national pipe thread to a 1/2 inch female national pipe thread. And then it's just going to be a bushing after a bushing after a bushing. So this one's going to go from 1/2 inch male national pipe thread to 3/8 female national pipe thread. And then we'll go to 3/8 male national pipe thread to a 1/4 inch female national pipe thread. And then in this one, we're going from that to a 1/4 inch nipple national pipe thread. This is a 1/4 inch nipple, and sometimes they'll call this a close nipple because it's so short versus a far nipple, which would be a lot longer. And then that will connect into our air fitting or our air plug. So this style is a female style. So that's why we have the nipple to go to the female end of this. Whereas in the other line, we have things a little different. Here we have a swivel that's female on both sides. So it is 3/4 inch national hose thread by 3/4 inch national hose thread. Both sides are the same thing. So this would go onto your spigot or your hose. And next we'd have a very fancy adapter, which this is 3/4 inch national hose thread. It's male by the exterior of this is 3/4 national pipe thread male, but this is also threaded on the inside. So it's also an interior of 1/2 inch national pipe thread female. So this is our interlink between hose thread and pipe thread. So out of everything on the table, this is probably the most expensive piece because it has internal and external threadings. So whatever company made this, they went to a little more effort than the rest of these. And then from there, we're going to go from another bushing to a bushing. And though this one, we've decided to use a male plug, a male air plug, so we don't have to have a nipple on this one. We can go right from the bushing to our air plug. And in this one, we chose something that looks kind of silverish, which when you put these all together, I'll just quickly put them together. So there goes from our swivel to our adapter, and from our adapter to our bushing, and from our bushing to our bushing. If I can get this to go. There we go. You see, I have this white here. Once you finally get this all together, you can use if you want. If it's going to be decorative, maybe you don't want it, and maybe you do, because to me it kind of looks like snow. What I'm talking about is using thread tape. thread sealed tape. What it is a flexible, slippery, it's PTFE, it's polytetrafluoroethylene. So normally you'd run into that when you're making breakfast, because non-stick pans, it's basically the PTFE family. So it's used as a sealant so things don't leak water or air or whatever we're doing. So there we have it. And now you can show it to someone and ask them, what is this? And you can find out quickly if they're form, function, or huh? Because if they see it and they say, that's a beautiful Christmas tree, then you know their form. And if they say, oh, that's cool, that's an interchange between 3/4 inch water hose, garden hose, to airline. So that's used for blowing out your irrigation lines. So before the frost comes, before the freeze comes, the great white shroud envelops, you could use this to blow out your sprinkler lines. This end goes to your spigot. This end goes to a hose that will go to an air compressor, and you can blow out your irrigation lines so they don't freeze and burst. And then if you show this to the person and they go, huh? Then maybe you can talk to them about whether maybe they are a form or a function kind of person. And here you can see you can build several of these, and you can build them absurdly long, or you can build them very efficient to make them short or tall with your kids or with your partner. And you can choose whatever airline you like. If you have an air compressor and want to match it up and want to blow out your lines, you can make them tall or short with a silver star on the top and put them together, and you can make your own forest of trees. So happy holidays out there. We'll see you on the next one.